I have a question, and if you are Latino and have a Spanish sounding last name, please answer it.
Hi, Fernando Hurtado. How are you? My name is Dr. Jose Medina, and I just wanted to stitch your video because I was so inspired by you sharing your testimonio. Like you, I had a similar traumatic experience with my name as I entered a U.S. classroom. And so thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Now, I'm a little bit older than you, I think, and I did want to share what happened to me in hopes that it might be helpful. As you mentioned, this is a personal journey that is different for everyone, but if our story helps others, then fabulous. So when I started first grade, my first grade teacher actually changed my name from Jose to Joe because she wanted me to more quickly become Americanized. I also only languaged in Spanish when I started school, and I think that she thought that if my name was Joe, somehow I would learn English more quickly. And that really played mind games with me because I didn't know exactly who I was or who I wasn't because of that name change. I kept Joe through elementary, middle school, high school, and even into university. And it wasn't until my 20s that I started kind of questioning, like, who the hell's Joe? Like, I know my name is Jose. Es el nombre que me dio mi mamá y mi papá. But again, that internal struggle was still pretty alive and fluid and ever changing within me. It wasn't until my late 20s, early 30s that I finally came to the realization that in order to fully do work on myself and also heal some of that trauma, that I needed to own Jose. And so during the last 2 decades or so, whether a professional or a personal situation, I'm always Jose. Now I know that some of my school friends will always know me as Joe, and that's okay. But it is important for me now to be called by the name that was given to me, which is Jose. And that's happens for a couple of reasons. Let me explain. So in terms of a professional setting, people of color, people whose names don't fall into a monolingual and monocultural perspective of living and breathing, we are having to chip away at systems that want to continue to further marginalize us. And so it's important for us to own our full name for those that come after us. It's also, for me, important to honor my ama and my apa and my abuelitos and abuelitas and my ancestors, because as I walk through this world, they are with me. And then finally, and I think equally important, I think that by saying my name, Jose, in all settings and demanding that those that want to interact with me also attempt to say my name correctly, is because I'm also trying to heal that 6-year-old whose name was changed from Jose to Joe. That trauma doesn't disappear. And so every time that I say my full name, I'm also helping that child be better, to feel better. I know that everybody's different, as you mentioned, but I hope that by my sharing this information, it is helpful. I will tell you that even in my professional life, I'm a language researcher and a dual language expert, and our team serves all over the United States and abroad. And it doesn't matter where I'm at, I always introduce myself as Jose Medina. And folks have tried to call me Jose. When we moved into this community, my husband and I started meeting the neighbors, and one of my neighbors said, "Can I call you Joe or Joseph?" And I said, "No, you can call me Jose, not Jose, not Joe, not Joseph, Jose," because it was important to me. Or when I check into a hotel and they'll say last name, I'll say Medina. "Excuse me, Medina." What? Medina. Can you spell it for me? Medina. 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 Oh, Medina. No, Medina. Like, it's sending a message that who I am and my name is important. At least that's how it feels to me. Now, our team does a lot of work with students in schools across the country and abroad, and we focus a lot on sociocultural competence, critical consciousness, and self-identity. And one of the activities that we do is hashtag I know my full name, almohadillas de mi nombre completo. And so, Fernando, I wanted to share my full name with you in case it's helpful. Mi nombre completo es Doctor José, acento sobre la E, Luis Medina Hernández, acento sobre la A, Franco López, acento sobre la O, Junior Díaz, acento sobre la I, Cruz. A sus órdenes.